Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today on the Sports Show. So, where do we begin in the world of sports for this week? It has been pretty busy with many things going on, both closer to home and further afield, beyond the Lucher and all the rest. So, where should we start?
I think local football as good as any.
We'll start with the Pennar Football League, Fraser, shall we?
Gordon, what we thought was going to be a pivotal game on Saturday, and then 45 minutes in, it looked that way, Gordon, or was it more one-sided than that first half suggested?
Well, funny enough, Fraser, I went to Milford Rugby first, and then I didn't get there till the second half, and I met up with my old pal Gary Dawes, who was coming out of the ground a bit beshaggled, to say the least. He said that they hadn't even scored a goal. It didn't look as though they were going to. They were well on top, plenty of possession, territory, but Merlinsbridge had defended very well. But the second half, once they scored that first goal, Shane Walsh got the first goal. Once he scored that, the floodgates opened. But I have to say that James Dixon in goal for Merlinsbridge, while I was there, had a very, very good game. He pulled off some stunning saves. But
interesting week at Bridge, though. They lost that game to Kilgetty, didn't they, in the Senior Cup, went out on penalties. And there's been a mini exodus since, by all accounts. Don't know exactly what's going on, but all of a sudden there are a few names missing. Jordan Williams, I noticed, has signed back for Narber.
Yeah,
it's easy to read between the lines and maybe put two together and make five. But if it's just a case of technically seeing the season over in terms of silverware and boys running to the hills, I know it's a trend that happened in Pembrokeshire clubs more and more in the last few years, but it's not particularly impressive, that one. So.
An interesting one, Fraser. Richard Hughes went back to Moncton. Joe Leahy, who was captain, was watching from the sidelines. I don't know whether he was injured, but the youngsters that came in, to be fair, and they're playing one of the best sides in the league, but they're playing the champions on Saturday. For 60, it was at least 60 minutes. They kept the door shut, but after that, Hakin were ominous. They were really good. I mean, Woodrow, you know what Woodrow is like. He can score and set up. Shane Walsh came off the bench. He replaced Ashley Bevan at halftime. But they're a very strong outfit, Hakin. They're going to take some stopping. We haven't said a lot about the title about Hakin deliberately because they got a few games to play yet. But we both know that if they could win all their games to the end of the season, they've only played 10 games so far.
But at the moment, if you look at them and Goodwick Bridge, I think are now out of it. Having lost on Saturday, I'll be honest, in recent form, I think it is a two-horse race now. I think if they can win all their games in hand, I think it might be 6 or 5 at the moment. They would technically go 2 points clear, which would be Goodwick needing to beat them at Phoenix Park, which they have done before. It's just a case of the fixture backlog when they come, when they get through it and so on. But we'll wait and see how that pans out as well. But big result at the bottom as well. Pennar Robbins beating Nayland. That was equally significant on Saturday as well.
Huge result because Nayland had won back-to-back victories before that game, Fraser. And technically they were relegated last season with it.
That's right, yeah.
But they seem to have got out of the relegation zone, Nayland. Full credit to them. They were leading at half-time, 1-0. But fair play, the Robins rolled their sleeves up and they got the 2 goals that were required to pick up a very important 3 points. And poor old Tish have dropped into the drop zone. They're second from bottom, along with St Clair's, who I think are already gone, basically.
Well, just looking at the table now, Pennar played 14, Tish have played 17. They've got five games left. They're 2 points off them. They have to win one of them to have any chance, especially with their goal difference.
Definitely.
They've got Hakin on Saturday. You can't see them getting anything there. Time will be running out for them pretty soon, I fancy.
Yeah, they had a dreadful start at the beginning of the season. There was a few players missing or whatever. They just didn't get a full quota of what normally they would have put out on a Saturday. But by the time that's happened, we're into 17 games, you know what I mean? They have picked up some vital points of late, but Saturday's was a very disappointing result.
The same players, of course, even from the Armour 10. They actually took the lead against Goodwick 1-0 and went on to lose 10-3. But
incredible, isn't it?
3 points in, they're as good as done now. So sorry to you for them as well.
Always plenty of drama in Pembrokeshire's leagues. I mean, I never get to see half this stuff because I'm always working on Saturdays, but it's fun looking through in the Western Telegraph later, seeing what's going on in the local county. But it has been a very, very there's always shocks in Pembrokeshire. You never get what you expect in some cases. You always think it's going to be one that is always a surprise, which is always what I love about local football more than anything.
I mean, some of the surprises here come in the way of lopsided scorelines.
Yeah.
Especially with teams struggling down. We've seen a few too many double-figure scores for my liking.
Yeah, not quite cricket scores, but getting close kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's certainly been eventful, to say the least. But we're going to hop into our first track of the evening as part of the Sports Now. Got a little bit of Carly Rae Jepsen with Call Me Maybe. I'm sure there'll be plenty of Call Me Maybes from a few players at the end of the season, depending on their performances, about some new contracts being signed. We'll have to wait and see. So let's run into that. We'll be back in a few moments.
That Change for Life is all about small